Good morning. So, a couple of days ago, I made a video of me planting beans and corn and squash. And it turns out that planting seeds is not compelling material for videography. So today I'm going to just do the talky bits that you can mostly watch while I intersperse it with clips of what actually happened. So I planted bush beans and pole beans, or runner beans. The difference between bush beans and runner beans or pole beans is that bush beans grow to a predetermined height, usually just 1 or 2 feet tall. They don't require support. They tend to bear all of their fruits at once, and they're a lot easier. I planted between 150 and 180 bush beans, and planted about 18 pole beans. The variety of bush bean I planted is red swan, and the pole bean are black coat runner beans. So those are going to go back on the teepee you can see back there behind the robin that's systematically destroying the twine on my trellis right now. You can see I've got my bush beans in a bowl rather than a seed packet. That's because I soaked them. Please keep in mind when you soak your seeds that you cannot store any seed that's been soaked. It's got to go. You germinate it or you throw it away. I have made holes somewhere between 4 and 6 inches apart, and I'm putting a bean in each hole. Now, one reason that you might want to plant bush beans instead of pole beans is that they're a great little filler plant. Plants don't get very big. If you've got a few feet of space between some bigger crops or some space that you didn't budget to be crop space at all, you drop your bush beans in there and you'll have something growing. Because they're a legume, they're going to be really gentle on your soil. So they're kind of they're almost like a cover crop that when it's done growing, you get food out of it. I'm planting my runner or pole beans around the base of my structure I built for them. I've pre-drilled holes because this land used to be lawn and it's still not very workable. So don't take your pre-soaked beans and try to shove them into hard ground. You'll just squish them. So I'm just planting them in threes, spaced about 8 inches at the foot of each of the legs of the structure. And when I'm done planting my pole beans or runner beans around here, I'm going to fill in some of the space with more of my bush beans. Alright, I also planted sweet corn. I planted a block of 16 corn plants in a 4 plant by 4 plant grid. It's best not to plant sweet corn or even field corn, any kind of corn. Don't plant it in rows unless you're planting a few rows, because it's wind pollinated and it will not wind up with a lot of seed on its cobs if you don't give it good exposure to other corn plants. The ideal germination temperature, soil temperature for corn is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Currently the temperature is about this much in Celsius. 67 on average Fahrenheit yesterday, which is, in my estimation, close enough. I will not be planting a row of corn. I will be planting a grid of corn. If you open up a seed packet of corn and it is an odd color, that means that your seeds have been treated. If you are an organic grower, that's terrible news. But I'm not, so we're fine. You want your corn to be at least 1 inch to 2 inches deep. I'm dropping 2 kernels in each hole. And I'm planting in a grid. if you plant your corn too shallow, it will not have a stable enough root system to support the plants. I also intend to, as they grow, anchor them to each other. So I'm just going to tie some twine around my planting so that they provide each other some stability. Now, under ideal conditions, planted about 2 inches deep, and you're going to see it take about 3 to 5 days for everything to come up and get you all excited as a gardener. I'm going to be doing 2 blocks of corn. So I'll do about a 4-foot block, and I'll do another 4-foot block of 4x4 corn, which, if I understand correctly, is about as small as you want to go for a plot of corn. Each corn plant should be expected to give you 2 to 3 ears of corn. This that I'm planting right now is a hybrid sweet corn called Inferno. Now, I planted 2 hybrid bush type squash plants. See, there's the Tivoli, which is kind of like a spaghetti squash, and then there's a dwarf acorn plant that I planted. Those did alright last time I tried them. I also planted 4 real heirloom butternut squash plants. Well, this is all from seed, so I didn't plant plants, I planted seeds. Planted 4 of those because the dwarf variety butternut squash I tried last time did not perform well at all. They either died off, or we got 1 or 2 fruit, but out of the number of fruit that it tried to set, that was really bad, so no. I also planted a couple of, I forget the name, Gete something. I'll type it out so you can see it. It's called the 800-year squash. They grow about that big, and they're bright orange and gnarly looking. Hopefully they'll do okay in the evening shade where I planted them. So here are my squash trellises where I intend to plant squash. I've got early acorn hybrid winter squash. I've got Tivoli hybrid winter squash. I've got Gete Okosomin squash, which is big and orange, and I've got classic butternut squash, which is my wife's favorite. Therefore, I will be planting half of my squash plants as butternut squash. These are older seeds. I'm just going to drop in 3 and then when they come up. And for these center ones, I'm going to do my butternut. It's a brand new packet, so I'm just going to drop 2 in each hole. Gete Okosomin squash, which, if they do well, are going to be massive. I plant them back here by the potatoes. I also put in zucchini plant, zucchini seed. I put in yellow squash and a couple of munchy cucumbers. So that's what went in a couple of days ago because it was so warm. My spinach was starting to bolt. Now that I've put the seeds in, it's gotten cool again. So we'll see how that goes. This is my summer squash bed, and as you can see, it's full of lettuce and apparently a couple of weeds. It's just good to be in the habit of pulling weeds out when you see them so they don't get to be established. I'm going to put cucumber, zucchini, yellow squash is I think how we're going to do this. The cucumbers I have in my pocket are from Baker Creek heirloom seeds, and they are Muncher variety cucumbers. They were delicious last year. Last year I planted Munchers and dragon egg cucumbers because, well, they just looked cool. This year I'm planting only Munchers because I have a pretty positive opinion of the dragon egg, but they didn't produce very well compared to the Muncher cucumbers. I'm just going to drop 3 seeds in here and keep the strongest. Sure Thing Burpee hybrid zucchinis. Zucchinis grow prolifically enough that you probably don't need to plant a hybrid, but why not? Ooh, what's this? That looks like a carrot. I'll just leave that alone for now. And since I'm interplanting with my lettuce today, that means that I've got to move them sometimes. That's okay. That was the plan. I'm just gonna drop, okay, I'm gonna drop all 3 seeds in here. These are older seeds, and I'm not 100% confident that they're gonna germinate, so extras. Butter dish, summer squash. Sounds nice. Beans require an average soil temperature of at least 60 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate. You want to be 65 or so for most of the squash plants that I put in. And corn, your best bet is going to be going with an average soil temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. So right now I'm missing the mark on my corn. We'll see how it goes. Even though the beds mostly look bare, with all those seeds that went in a couple days ago, it's pretty much planted up. I've got a ton of potatoes and corn and squash and all sorts of stuff that you can't see it doing stuff yet, but it's there. Remember, once you put seeds in, consistently water until you see probably your first true leaves on those seedlings, because they're not going to have a very well developed root system. Except for maybe the corn. That thing will shoot roots deep and fast like you wouldn't believe it. Still, make sure everything gets enough water until it germinates well. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope it turns out to be useful and true. I'm very excited to watch this garden grow with you. It's probably going to be pretty crazy once things start taking off, because there really isn't a single patch that's going to remain unplanted for long. I'm also really glad I got to share this quiet morning with you to do the taping for the bits where I'm not breathing heavy and digging holes and planting things. So like and subscribe if you liked it, and I'll try to produce more good content for you. And I hope your garden grows well.